What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Tyler and this is my 1997 Honda Civic, fully built D-Series. We are just now getting finished wrapping this thing up, about to get it back on the road. If you haven't seen in the last few videos, we installed our coil on plug kit from Burton Racing, as well as our boost by gear from Burton Racing as well. That is the 3-port boost by gear kit, and yeah, I'm excited to see what this thing's gonna do with its new parts. Let me show you guys what we have to install on this thing. Alright guys, this is all of our parts laid out for our fuel system. Hopefully all the fittings and everything is there and we don't have to do any more waiting. We can get this fuel system knocked out. What we have Deatchworks' fuel filter. Really nice unit right here. -6 fittings, filter our fuel out. Right here we have Burton Racing's flex fuel sensor, and then their harness. This was a whole kit I got, so should be set on right there. And I got some PTFE hose. You can see that white stuff, that's plastic on the inside, so we'll be able to run E85 without any problems. And we also got some fittings from K-Motor. So that's all of our stuff we should need to get our fuel system finished. Right now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pop off this return line, get our gas drained out. You're probably wondering how we're gonna do that. I'm just gonna pop the hose off the return line, and then I'm gonna run it into a gas can, and you're just gonna click the key to the on position, not starting it, but just to the on position a few times until there's no more fuel coming out the line. So I got another lines coming all the way out and into the gas can. So now I'm gonna go in the car, turn the key over, let the fuel pump prime, and we should hear the gas come out into the gas can. Alright boys, now we got all of our gas drained out. You can see it in there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tackle the fuel rail first. I'm gonna get this barb fitting off and put a -6 on it, and same over there with the stock fuel filter and my aftermarket feed line. Rail side first, get it all figured out, and then we're gonna go to the back and drop our fuel tank. But before you drop your fuel tank, you need to get to your fuel pump, disconnect your lines. Quickly update you guys on what I did so far. I didn't do much. My buddy Aaron actually had this -6 fitting for the AEM regulator, so that's good. I took out the stock fuel filter and my -6 feed. I'll show you guys real quick what that looks like. This is what it looks like. You can see it's -6 right there, and I got this on eBay. It was maybe 30-40 bucks if I can remember correctly, but yeah, it did pretty good. But now, since we're upgrading all of our lines to -6 and we're using PTFE line, we don't need it anymore. I'm gonna start getting the hard lines out and seeing how hard this thing's gonna be. I'm now gonna start taking apart the fuel hanger, disconnect my lines. We shouldn't have to disconnect the gas tank, but we will see. Alright guys, we got the fuel pump out, and you can see right there the line busted, so we're gonna fix that, and the power wire disconnected when we were taking it out. So the plan is to put this bulkhead fitting on the return. This would be your return right here. This would be your feed. You can see the return comes and it drains out back into the fuel tank. So me and Aaron, we're just gonna grab an angle grinder, cut this off, drill the hole out, insert this guy, and it should be fine by itself. We shouldn't need any hose, so we'll try it. If we need to get back to it and fix it, we can. But that's the plan for that. Got my fuel pump assembly all finished with the Walbro 450. So now we can put this back in the car. Alright guys, so now me and Aaron, we got the we found the feed line. Aaron went ahead and cut it. We're waiting on the fuel to drain out of it right now because there's still fuel in the lines. But after all the fuel gets drained, we're gonna start taking out the return and the feed, and then we'll start making the AN lines. Hopefully it's not gonna be hard. Alright guys, we got our Deatchworks fuel filter in the car. You can see it's right there, that silver piece. We got our filter mounted. So now it's time to start making our lines. So I already started with this end, and I put some tape and marked where I'm gonna cut, so that way the ends don't fray up and make it difficult to put on your fittings. Alright guys, here we are with the car. So we have our feed line made, that's from the rail to the fuel filter that's down there, and we also have our return line somewhat made. Other end down there comes to this side of our flex fuel sensor, and then I just used a straight right here, and that's gonna run under the subframe, under the car, back into the return line in the fuel tank. And then I've already started running my feed for the other side of my Deatchworks fuel filter. If I can get in here, you guys can see. Here it is right here in my hand, right here. And I got that ran all the way under the car. You can see the line right there. But that's probably gonna hold me for today. I don't have any more fittings that I actually need to finish the line. So I'm hoping Monday we can get that done. I've been waiting on getting the rest of my kit. I've been waiting to get the rest of my fuel lines done. We didn't have enough fittings to finish it. So right here in this box, I got some more fittings and stuff. I'm gonna hopefully finish the feed line and get started on the return line. Maybe finish the return line today before we gotta go to work. If not, we have this weekend to finish everything and possibly get the car back on the road. I'm hoping, anyway. I'm gonna quickly show you guys how I go about making my lines. So, what I do, I start with one end and then I work my way back to the fuel tank. So, what that means is, with the feed line, I started with that. I started on the fuel filter first with a fitting, put a 45 on there, put some line, then I measured how much line there would be. I gave a little extra, so now, then I got a 90 degree, put it on there, put it on the rail, done. And I'll show you guys how to get all your fittings and stuff put on your line too. Okay guys, now we're gonna come over to our vise. We're gonna put our desired fitting we want to run. For the one end, we're gonna take it apart. You'll have this metal piece that's gonna go on your hose. First, we're gonna put that to the side. Next, we'll grab our PTFE hose and put some tape around it. If you ever wanna cut to make your line so that way it doesn't fray up on you. So now, bear with me here, we're gonna record with two hands, or record with one hand. So we're gonna take this middle piece and it's gonna go on your hose, something like that. You need to push it down some more. I'll show you. We used this tool right here, and we put it inside, and we were just pushing and turning, rotation, trying to get it all the way down. You want your plastic to be flush with this ring right here. So that's what we're gonna do. And if you got to, you can kind of lean up against the table, and you can see that that PTFE plastic stuff is getting pretty close. So do that one more time. And you can see that it's all sealed up now. So now I'm gonna put that this little tool back in it, make sure everything is straight so we have no leaks. And then you're gonna put a little bit of you can put whatever, something to lube this up to fit your hose on. So that's what we're gonna do. Now we're going to take our hose, and we're going to push and turn it on here like that. Don't forget to remove your tape. Oh yeah, and don't forget to put this on before. I accidentally forgot, so I'm gonna have to go to the end of my line, put this fitting on so it goes this way, and then we'll tighten everything down and we'll be done. So let me do that real quick. Now once you have your fitting right here, just push it on there, grab the threads, turn it as much as you can by hand. We're going to use the adjustable. If you don't care about your how your lines look, go ahead and use the adjustable wrench. But if you're worried about how your lines look, then you'll have to order one of those guys. I'm gonna get this tightened up and show you guys the finished product. Okay guys, we got our line all finished. Just this end for the fuel filter side. So this side's gonna go on the fuel filter. I'm gonna screw it all the way down. I'm gonna then run my line through the car, under the subframe, under the frame rails, where the old fuel lines would have went. So I'm gonna do that. Run them up through the gas tank and measure, and then cut more than what you need so you're precise on your measurement. That way you're not too short. Okay guys, we're now under the car again. I ran now my fuel line, pushed it down from under the subframe, and now I ran it under the car. You can see it's right here. I'm now seeing how much line I exactly need. I pushed it out through the fuel tank, and it's coming out right there. So I'm gonna grab me a piece of tape, mark where I want to cut it, pull it back out, cut it, fit it, and hopefully it fits good. I'm hoping. Okay guys, we got the feed in now. So what's next is to get the return line done. So I put this straight on here, and we're gonna have our regulator. It's gonna run down to our flex fuel sensor right here, and then that's gonna run off that, run straight back into the gas tank, into the return. And while the car's in the air, I'm gonna do an oil change on it, put some new plugs, and contact Muhammad, see if we can get a dyno tune in, or not a dyno tune, sorry, street tune in, so we can get it streetable. And then in a few weeks, in March, we'll hit the dyno. Hopefully we have no problems, but before we hit the dyno, I want to make sure everything on this engine is squared away. We have no leaks. Our fuel pressure is good. Everything like that. Alright guys, we got all of our lines in. I'm going to show you guys real quick everything I've done. I didn't film doing the return line because I already filmed doing the feed. So it's just the same thing, just backwards. Everything is tight. Right now I'm about to hook up the flex fuel sensor. But let me show you guys what we're doing. We got our fuel pump all finished and that's ready to go. All those are tight. And if we come under the car, our fuel lines are just dangling right now because we're gonna test and see if there's any leaks before we actually put everything back together. So that way we're not catching ourselves in the long run doing more work. We're about to hook up our flex fuel sensor wiring. I'll show you guys how to do that. First, when you get your kit, it'll come with this stuff. It'll come with your fuse that you need and these little pins. These little pins go into this little board thing on your analog for your Hondata board. This is for Hondata S300 users only. So if you have a chipped ECU, I'm afraid this might not work. I'm not sure how chipped ECUs work with boost by or flex fuel. You can see I took 2 of those little prongs off and I just stuck them in here. Now on the backs you'll have to bend them a little bit to get them in, but the reason I did that is so when it connects on the board it has a much sturdier connection and it's not gonna wobble and break that little pin off our Hondata board. But yeah, this is gonna be a ground. This is gonna go to I reckon a switch power source. We'll find one, and then this plugs into the sensor, and I'm just gonna run this through my firewall around the back, and it's gonna run back behind the dash. So that's the plan. Let me knock it out and put some fuel in this thing, see if she leaks. Hopefully she don't leak. Alright guys, we got our boost by gear harness all in. There's my ground right here, and it's coming down. It's gonna run now into that top left one. That top left one right there, that's my 12 volts right there, and I have that under the cigarette lighter. I now have my gauges, which is that top right one. Those are at the radio clock, and the bottom left one right there with the blue, that's on my fuel pump. So now I ran the analog over. You can see the cable right here. I might have to end up moving it later because it's a little short, but let's go over to the other side. So here's the board. That's what we plugged in. You can see I got 3 extra pins in there so it stays firm. You could put all of them if you want, but I just did the did 3 extra, and I have my cable running out right here. And yeah, I'm gonna put the cover on, a little bit of gas in this thing, and see if she leaks. Didn't have my battery hooked up, so let's try again. I'm gonna prime it a few times to make sure all the gas gets to the engine and to the return. So let's see what happens. It don't sound like there's any leaks happening. Alright guys, so far we got all of our lines in, we hooked the battery up, put the key to the on position to prime the fuel pump. It seems like there's no leaks going on, so I'm gonna try and crank it over and start it. It's probably not gonna start, but I just want to see if everything's working properly, because then I can wrap everything up on the bottom and the car will be ready to get street tuned again. Let's see what she does. Wow, I'm actually surprised it actually started. That's crazy. Alright, I just ran it for a few seconds because I want to make sure there's absolutely no fuel leaks, and it looks like we're pretty good. Alright guys, I got all my fuel lines done, and they are tucked up with the factory plastics where all your other hard lines would go. I got some heat shield right there also, just so it protects it from the exhaust, because you don't want heat around your fuel lines. So you can see I got it all tucked up as nice as I could. Well guys, the car's not going to start, so looks like we're gonna have to wait till Tuesday and get in contact with that dude that street tuned it before, because it doesn't want to start. But on the bright side, we got our oil changed. We still need to do a coolant flush. There's no fuel leaks, which is good on the first time too. But right now the car doesn't want to fire. I don't know why. If I knew how to tune, I probably could get it to start, but we're not there yet. Eventually I'll try and learn, but it's really complicated. Anyway, with that being said, next video we're gonna get the car running, and we're gonna go take it for a spin and see what she does on the street with all of her new stuff. We got the coil-on plug, we got our 3-port boost by gear, and then down there we have our flex fuel sensor with all of our upgraded lines. So I'm really excited what's gonna happen. Hopefully we can feel the power, and also I fixed my exhaust leaks. That's all guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you boys in the next one. Peace.